Hey everybody, welcome to Harmon Garage. I'm Aaron. As you can tell, I'm back in Alabama and I'm back in the shop. So there's a reason that I haven't mentioned yet why I rushed so fast, went up to Illinois, grabbed the truck, turned around and came right back. And that reason is because I had a meeting yesterday, which was Sunday, with a guy about a building to rent, so that I have another shop. And the only day he could meet with me was yesterday, or we would have had to wait a whole nother week because he works out of town during the week and he's only home on the weekend. So since I have no clue what I'm doing or where I'm going, and that was an opportunity to get a shop, I had to get back and talk to him. And I got good news. I got another shop. He's got some stuff in there that he's got to get out, so I can't really show it to you guys yet, or I'm choosing not to show it to you guys yet because he's got some of his personal things in there and I'm just not that type of person. So I do have a shop. It's good news. I appreciate all you guys' comments and prayers and everything else. I believe it helped and I'm very thankful. So the shop that I'm getting, probably about the same size as this one, a little bit more property to park stuff on, a little bit more expensive than I can really afford, but I gotta have a shop, and somehow or another I always seem to make it work out. So we got another place to go. It's a building I've been looking at since I moved here, and I was never able to get in touch with the guy that owned it, and since it was crunch time, a couple of my buddies helped me out getting a hold of him. We got a hold of him and he was willing to work with me to rent the shop. So good news. Thank you again. And we've got somewhere to go. I can get in it. Might have already told you this. I can get in it first of the year. But he told me I could move all my trucks that sit outside and stuff over there whenever I wanted to. So he just needs some time to clean out his stuff that he's got in the building. So as you can see, the trailer's here, unhooked from the truck, and Ron Jeremy's not on it because I already took Ron Jeremy over, dropped it off at the new shop, and today I only came to the shop just this afternoon. I'm only going to be here for a little bit. My wife had to take my kids to the doctor this morning, so I stayed home with the little one. So I don't have much time today, so I figure what better day to come over and just move the stuff I can move and make it look like I'm making an effort to get out of here. So old Pennywise made the trip. Thought she was gonna come home and get a break. Not so much. We putting her right back to work. She's gonna be dragging a trailer around again for at least the next 2 weeks, getting all this stuff moved and taken care of. But she's a trooper, she'll handle it. I have no doubts. It's way too cold to wash her and the trailer off. I really want to get the salt off of them, but we've got highs in the 40s all week with lows as low as 7 coming this weekend. So first day we have that's over 50, whether it's here or there or anywhere, I'm washing everything. So I'm kind of starting to get some of my stuff that was already in totes off my shelves. I'm pretty well organized in this room to move stuff. I think what I'm gonna do is, I think the Burnout truck's gonna go over there. I'm gonna slap the fender on and put something up front here to tie the fenders together so that I can set the hood on it, just so it's so the engine's covered. I think I'm gonna get it over there, let it sit outside. I'm gonna pack up everything I can pack up and have it ready to go, because if I fill my trailer and pay attention to what I'm doing, I can probably dang near move everything in this shop in about 3 loads on the trailer. It'd probably take the better part of a day to do it all. So that's my plan. I wanna have everything ready to where I can just put it on the trailer and go. So, you know, all the loose stuff packed up in Rubbermaid totes or boxes or something it's purge time. Anything I don't need, go to scrap, go to trash, go to whatever. I'm not gonna be as crazy as I was when I moved over here because I gave away a lot of parts that I could have used many times since I did it. So if it comes to parts, I'm keeping it. If it comes to scrap metal that I thought I might use one day or something like that, and it gets to be too much stuff moving, it's probably gonna go to scrap. But as far as I can tell right now, I think I'm only gonna be able to fit 2 trucks inside the other shop. It's configured a little different. So Rum Runner and Cherry Pie will both be going in there as soon as I can get in there. And Burnout truck's probably gonna have to sit outside for a little bit until I get room to get it back in, but time's running out. It's almost the first of the year. That means I got like 4 months to get Rum Runner done. I want to get Cherry Pie done, get it back to its owner. So it's probably what I'm going to be working on for a little while here the next couple months. I'll still do some of my other stuff in between, but that's probably going to be it. Ron Jeremy's probably going to get woven into the mix a little bit there, because like I said, my son gets his license the 13th of January. So I want to try to have it ready to go for him. And rather than trying to move all these piles of stuff, I think I'm going to go ahead and make the video, assemble the 307 so it's assembled and ready. I can just take it and move it. Just anything that I can put together quick to move, I'm gonna put together quick to move. So I'm gonna go back out, check on the bus. I don't know how long it's gonna take old Pennywise to charge those batteries up, but I'm gonna go check on that. I'm gonna make a list of what parts I still need for the 307 so I can get them and get going on it. And I'm just sorry, I know I'm blabbering, and I've just got 1,000,001 things going through my mind right now trying to figure all this stuff out. But I want to try to keep making content for you guys through the process. And as soon as I can get in that building over there, I'll do a full introductory video on the new shop. Probably a little bit of the moving process. A couple things I want to change and fix up over in the new building. So there'll probably be a whole bunch of different kinds of content here for the next month or so. There might be some shop cleanup, shop moving, shop improvements, working on these trucks to get them done. I mean, just whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna film it for you guys. So hang in there and I'll try not to be too boring. All right, well, I've had old Pennywise out here charging on these batteries for probably 45 minutes or so. Last time, it's been at least 6 months since I started this bus. They just must be something putting a draw on the battery. It sat out here, they were dead. I'm gonna give it a shot, see what happens. The last time I did start it, the reason I haven't started it is because I noticed there was a little bit of water getting in the oil. So I don't think it blew a head gasket, because every time I drove it and ran it, it was fine. I think it's probably from sitting so much, it's got a liner that's leaking. So that's a problem I can take care of later, but I'm gonna try to get this thing fired up, get the dually out of the way, and haul button the bus, because I don't want to cause any more damage than it already has, but I need to get it moved. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the key and see how it goes. And apparently it's doing nothing. Oh, that sucks, because I tried to kick it off a little bit ago and it at least acted like it was going to start, but the batteries were still low, and now it's not even clicking. So maybe I don't have a good connection, I don't know. So I'm gonna hook it back up, or check the cables, let it run for another 45 minutes or so, and I guess come back out and see what happens. All right, it's the next day. I gave up on trying to jump start the bus because I left old Pennywise hooked up to it for over an hour, and it tried to crank, but it still wouldn't start. So I pulled the batteries out, put one of them on the smart charger overnight, and it ran all night and only got up to 90%. So I took my big charger, hooked it up to the other one on 10 amp, and I'm letting it run for a couple hours to get something in it, and then hopefully I can take it out, put them in the bus. It'll start and I can get it moved. I got the oxen brought back inside. When we took it out for a test drive, it had this issue where anytime you revved up the throttle at all, it would stay revved up, it wouldn't kick back down. But the throttle position on the Holly was showing that it opened and showing that it fully closed, but it was staying revved up. And I went on some forums and did some research, and it's a pretty common problem with these. The secondary blades on the carburetor don't close all the way, and they let it keep sucking a whole bunch of air in, and it stays revved up. And they had a couple fixes for that, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. I'm going to replace the power steering lines because I told him they were leaking and he bought some new ones. I still got an exhaust leak to fix. And then I'm most likely going to do a video on this. But if you look, you see how kicked out that back panel is? That's supposed to be in there flat. So the whenever this bed was made, I don't know if it was professionally made or somebody made it at home, but they didn't brace it right for the hitch. The hitch basically has no support. The only thing really holding it is some 2x2 tubing that makes the shape of the back of the bed, and that diamond plate that is the back of the bed. So he was hooking it up to a dump trailer, loading it up and hauling it around, and it broke loose all the bracing from the back. The only thing that's still holding the back on the truck is that rear piece of diamond plate sheet. So I'm gonna push it, pull it, whatever, back into place where it needs to be, and I'm gonna put some actual bracing on there and actually attach the receiver for the hitch to the frame, strengthen it up. He won't have any problems with it anymore. Basically gonna build it the same way that I built the hitch on the back of Hot Shot, which is his truck also, and why this one's been here getting worked on. He's been towing that dump trailer all over with Hot Shot and hasn't had a single problem with it whatsoever. So that's the plan. We're going to get that done. Not today. I'm only here for a little bit today. My wife's got some stuff she's got to do this afternoon, so I got to go home and hang out with my little one. But I did go this morning and get the cam for the 307. So that was the last piece that I really needed to assemble this. So I want to get it assembled, so when I move it, I'm moving the complete, basically ready to drop in motor, and not throwing a bunch of parts and pieces in buckets and boxes and taking them over and then having to search for them and find them and everything when I get over there. So I'm gonna let that battery charge for a little bit. My buddy that actually owns the parts truck that's outside sent his buddy, who's a scrapper, over, or sending him over to pick that truck up to take it and scrap it. So he should be here fairly soon. I'll help him get that all loaded up and out of here, and then by then maybe the batteries will be charged up for the bus. We'll get them out, put them in, and get the bus over to the new shop. And then I still got P51 back there, my 76 step side. I need to get it loaded up, taken over to the new shop, and hopefully I can get that much done today before I have to go home. I've only got like 2 hours, and if not, then I'll have to do a little bit more tomorrow. But that's kind of what we're doing. Not doing anything exciting really. So I am gonna make a video of reassembling that 307 hopefully tomorrow. We'll get it assembled, get it painted, get it put on a little stand that's easy to move around, and it'll be ready to go. And we'll keep fixing up little stuff and packing up stuff and just keep on with the whole process. All right, still waiting on bus batteries to charge. Still waiting on the guy to get here to pick up the parts truck. So I've just kind of been trying to clean up a little bit and get stuff to where it's easier to move. And I did a little bit to the Burnout truck here. Now keep in mind, this is not the final. This isn't the way it's gonna be. This is just for moving purposes. It's kind of how it's gonna be, but it's not completely done. It's just enough that, like I said, I might have to leave it sit outside. So I don't want the motor exposed to the elements. Of course, I'll wrap it in plastic and whatnot, but I wanted to be able to set a hood back on it. So this is, like I said, this is kind of the way it's gonna be, but not completely. So you guys already saw in a previous video that I lightened that fender. I still haven't gotten around to doing that one. I've been busy working on other stuff. This is the factory lower trim for the grill and the bumper filler piece. And then on the 73 to 80 core supports, you can take just this top panel off. And I thought that the 81 to 87 were the same. I never really paid much attention. Well, they're not. They're all spot welded together from the factory. So my idea was to take this top piece off the core support, because I thought it unbolted, bolted into my fenders. That would tie the fenders together at the top, tie the fenders together at the bottom. I'll bring some bracing up off the frame or the roll bar, and that'll support everything. Well, since that top piece didn't come off, I rough cut it. It's not done, it's not finished. I just rough cut it. I left the headlight bucket mounts on both sides because it'll be nice to be able to use those to mount the headlights. I'll kind of reinforce those back to this upper plate or something. And I've actually thought about making the whole front end one piece. Just tack welding this to the fenders, tack welding this to the fenders, kind of welding it all together. Make the hood either lift off or tack weld it to the fenders too and make it permanent. If I tack it to the fenders and make it permanent, I can cut all the bracing out of the hood and make it a lot lighter. If I go to a lift off hood, if I win the lottery or a gift horse drops by and drops off some money, I'll probably go to a lift off fiberglass hood. But if I end up reusing the stock hood, I'm probably gonna make it one piece front end where it's just 6 bolts that you take out at the back. And then there'll be like 2 or 4 pins at the front where I can unpin the front, take the 6 bolts off at the back and just lift the whole front end off. So that kind of seems like a way to go, but at the same time, 90% of the time I'm doing stuff by myself, and I don't know if I could lift the whole front end off by myself, but we'll see. But like I said, I just took a Sawzall and rough cut this. So it's in there, it's supporting the front end pretty good, and good enough that I can take the original hood, set it back up on here, and that'll just cover all this up. I need to wrap that motor up in plastic and tape it all off so moisture and animals and everything else can't get inside it. I might go ahead and take the head back off and put it inside. It needs to be built anyways. But like I said, I'm waiting around for people to come and get stuff and batteries to charge. So I'm just trying to do little stuff here and there to make it easier for the move. So got the front end back on the Burnout truck. Wasn't ready to do it, but it's on there. So I still have to shave the light on that other fender. I still got to shave the emblems on that other fender. I still got to cut it all out. It's all gonna have to come back off and get a bunch of work done to it, but no big deal. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I'll update you guys when I get something else done. All right, well, you might be able to tell I'm sitting in the bus. I got both the batteries charged up. We're gonna try to get this thing fired up and get it over to the new shop. Like I said, I don't wanna let it run long because it's either got liners leaking or the head gasket's blown. So I'm gonna hit the key here, see if she cranks like she used to, and then we're gonna run this thing over to the new shop. It's always fired up good when the batteries are charged. So once I get it over to the new shop, I'm gonna have to make sure I unhook the batteries so they don't keep getting drawn down to nothing. But she's running. Feels like I still got a brake pedal, so that's a plus. So I'm gonna give it a minute to warm up here, and then we're gonna start heading down the road. All right, well, got the bus moved over to the new shop. Brakes still work. She ran flawlessly, other than smoking really bad, but you know. So someday soon we'll get on this thing and get going. I got to go back over to the shop. I got one more truck that I'm going to move today, and we'll get it moved, and then we'll see what's next in the process. All right, well, bus is moved. That was a big feat that we got knocked out. I got the outside here cleaned up pretty good. Still got a dually rear end I got to take with me, and I'm going to take my burn barrel. Everything out here except for P51 is moved or cleaned up or gone. So P51's the last little thing here. So I gotta get this all open, clean. I gotta get this old girl loaded up on the trailer. I'm gonna try to put some air in the tires so it moves a little easier. I got 1, 2, 3 flats, and the driver front doesn't even look like it's on the bead anymore. So we're gonna try to stick some air in there, just a little bit at least, so it rolls on and off the trailer easier. But I'm gonna get the trailer hooked up. Gonna try to get some air in them tires, and then we'll try to get her loaded up. All right, things are kind of starting to get cleaned up and organized in here. Not really. Outside here, we got everything moved. I got P51 hauled over and dropped off. And I'm telling you what, I should have filmed that, but I'm glad I didn't. 3 flat tires that wouldn't air up. Steering that just kind of did whatever it wanted to. I couldn't lock it, and just didn't want to move. I tore up 2 ratchet straps trying to use them as snatch blocks because I don't have a snatch block to get it back off the trailer. But she's moved. Everything's good out here. Everything's cleaned up. I want to take a minute and tell everybody thank you very much. I got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of encouraging comments on the video when I told you guys I was losing my shop. I found a shop really quick, which I don't believe even happened around here because there's not much to get. I've been trying, so I'm just gonna take it as the positive encouragement and the prayers and greater powers prevailed for us. So I got into a new shop. It's probably still going to slow me down content wise for a little bit because I've got to get that shop ready. I've got to get everything moved and set up and then get back to it. So at least I know where I'm going, when I can go there, and I'm going to make a little bit more content here. I'm going to build that 307 so I can take it over there built. And let me know in the comments if you want me to film the moving process. I mean, packing up and moving and unpacking isn't really all that interesting, but if you want to see the process of me doing it and getting everything over there, put it down in the comments. I'll film it for you. So, but I'm pretty wore out. I'm still tired from that trip. The mental stuff. Been thinking a lot. That's making me tired. So I'm trying to get done as much as I can. And yeah. So like I said, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But that's gonna do it for this video. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. Y'all have a good one. See you next time.